Welcome back to CNN Newsroom. We've probably all gotten some negative responses to our posts on the web, but what if that feedback gets so nasty it's taken to the next level and becomes harassment? Well, internet trolls are people who make offensive or controversial comments online with the intention of provoking outrage or argument. They often hide behind fake names and apparently get satisfaction from inciting a response. So why cause this chaos? Internet expert Judith Donath says it comes from a sense of alienation.
A lot of times they're young men, in teens, early 20s. A lot feel somewhat disaffected. They feel that they have some kind of disassociation with the rest of society, and so it's a way also for them to feel that they're not part of mainstream society, that they're in this group together as a group that sets itself against sort of the corporate life, the straight and narrow, etc.
Now, one face that isn't hidden among the hate posts is that of the self-proclaimed troll Weev. Now, some call him the most notorious troll in the world. He's 27 years old, and right now he's in prison, but not for what he said online, but for gaining access to 100,000 email addresses from AT&T iPad users and then disclosing them to a website. So how did Weev earn the dubious honor of being a famous troll and an imprisoned hacker? Well, Richard Roth joins us from New York. So, Richard, he doesn't sound like a very likable character. Weave us the narrative on the Weev.
Well, first, when I heard that internet expert describe what a troll is, I thought that was describing my social life and my outlook on the world, but I'm not a big internet user. This man, Andrew Auernheimer, was convicted of computer fraud. He was sentenced to 3 years in prison, about 41 months. 3 years probation, and he must give back $73,000 to AT&T. Basically, he exposed security flaws in the AT&T email system. He and a co-defendant, as it turned out, who has already pled guilty, they got into that system, typing some numbers. Either way, his lawyer says, he didn't break into some secure internet system. It was much too easy to do what he did. But the problem, according to the government, is he gave this information, 114,000 personal email addresses of AT&T users, to Gawker, the social media site, and he didn't call AT&T and say, you've got a problem. Now, before his sentencing in New Jersey recently, Andrew Auernheimer explained to the media that what he did was not really illegal and did not break computer security laws in the United States.
I'm going to prison for arithmetic. I added 1 to a number on a public web server, and I aggregated this data and I gave it to a journalist at that man's publication. And this is why I am going to prison. It's arithmetic.
Not your average defendant there, you might say, before sentencing. But, this is a different world we live in, and he's very passionate in his defense there. Now, his attorney, who we interviewed Thursday in New York, he says that the man did nothing really wrong regarding computer security law in the United States.
I mean, he's very, very good at getting a reaction. He's very, very good at getting press. And I think one of the ironies of this prosecution is that they hadn't done it, he still would be relatively obscure. But now they've turned him into this, celebrity troll that, everybody wants to talk to and get a piece of, and people are writing, all sorts of pieces on.
In the courtroom, he also was very emotional, and he tried to reach for his phone, and they took 10 security officers to make sure that didn't happen. So he definitely doesn't go by the book in various forms of life. They are appealing. Patricia.
What about the impact of prison, Richard? Has it silenced the Weev at all?
This probably doesn't surprise anyone, but he's been tweeting to friends, and in his tweets he said, every day of this upcoming 3 years is worth it to defend the rights of the Internet. I do it all over again. There's a new system that the United States Bureau of Prisons set up, it seems hard to believe in this case also, where you can allow inmates to have limited computer access to send and receive electronic messages without having access to the Internet. It probably wouldn't surprise people if the Weev found other ways of getting his message out, but he's so far behind bars for what he did to AT&T.
All right, I'm sure we will be hearing more from the Weev at some point in the future. Thanks so much, Richard. Now, coming up, an attempt to cool down the crisis over North Korea. The United States is urging Kim Jong-un to take a different course after reports that his regime has moved a missile to the coastline.